What is going on, guys? EK1 Gaming here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Now, today's video, we are on the PTS, yes, the public test server, and I'm going to go through a breakdown of all of the new items that they're looking at bringing in to the next update. Now, of course, as usual, PTS can change, so don't take this 100% of what's going to go into the game, but we can have a little brief look and see what these things do, what the new exotics are, gear set and brand set. Now, I will give my personal opinion on each of these as well, so let me know in the comment section what you think about these items, and of course, let me know which one you're going to go after first. With all that being said, let's get straight into it. So I feel like we just start off at the top here, the Agitator. This is an AR and it's a new exotic. Now, of course, the AR talents are pretty much always the same. The attributes, assault rifle, health damage, and damage to armor. But it's all about the talent here. Now, perturb, maybe? I don't know how to say that. But while this weapon is holstered, you generate 50% less threat when shooting. Keeping this weapon holstered for 10 seconds will prime it. Now, while primed, swapping to this weapon grants 25% rate of fire, 30% weapon damage, and you generate 100% more threat when shooting for 20 seconds. Swapping from this weapon before the timer ends removes the bonuses. Now, once again, it's typical kind of Division, just making wording complicated. Literally, just say, keep it holstered for 10 seconds, pull it out when you shoot and you get more of this, more of that, more of this, whatever. It's kind of just blurb. Okay, so basically, I'll pre-warn everybody here, everything is about weapon swapping in this update, it seems, and it's not my favorite thing to do. I really don't like it, but let's get onto it. So the Agitator, that is an exotic, and on the mods, it does have the swap speed 50%, of course, crit chance 10%, and then it has a 20 round mag. So it's got 50 rounds in it completely, but hopefully there's some little tweaks and stuff that will happen. It's got headshot damage, the total damage, but bear in mind I don't have a build with this. This is literally just what they've given me, all the new items that are in the game at the moment. So with that being said, on this weapon, I really probably won't use it. I'll be honest. I don't like why should I have to keep my weapon holstered for 10 seconds? You know, which is great. Say if you're, I don't know, maybe PvP where you're running around a little bit, you can just pull your pistol out and run for 10 seconds or whatever. But in the actual game, am I really going to sit there and think, oh, I need to holster my weapon for 10 seconds to get 25% more rate of fire? No, I'm probably not going to. Not a big fan of this one, but let's get straight into the next one. And the next one is the Trader. This is a named item, okay? This is a named rifle. The cool thing about this is you can just hold the shoot button down and it shoots like an AR, really. Not as fast, obviously, but the recoil on this thing is horrible when you're shooting it, when you're just holding the button down. But you wouldn't use it like that anyway, so let's just not go into that. Rifle damage, crit damage, swap speed. Probably going to be able to change the swap speed or whatever you want to change on there. And then the talent on there is perfect back and forth. And you guessed it, swapping to this weapon grants 13% rate of fire and 12% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Swapping from this weapon, so swapping to this weapon and then swapping from this weapon, so you're going away from this weapon, grants 5% rate of fire and 4.5% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Receiving one of the bonus groups will remove the other if it's still active. 2 instances of this talent will not function at the same time. Now, I don't know, like, I'm just calling it here. So if I swap from this to the Agitator, am I going to get another 5% rate of fire, which puts the Agitator at 30%, and another 4.5% weapon damage, which puts it at 34.5%. So maybe if you run these two together, but then you're sort of forced to run these two to stack. If they will stack, I don't know if they're going to, but personally, again, is something swapping to this weapon, swapping from this weapon. I don't like doing that. So personally, I don't think this is going to be any good for me, but it might be good for people that are utilizing, you know, swapping weapons. We have had it previously in other updates as well, remember. So you've got 4 mod slots on here, just the standard, muzzle, optics, mag, and of course the underbarrel. And then you think, wow, there's another gun, Interchange. It's got exactly the same talent on it, except it's an SMG. Yeah, I don't know why. Why have you done that? Just think of another talent and put it on there. Please, 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 please. Or think of a better rifle talent, you know? Rate of fire, okay, that's great. But realistically, you're shooting a rifle. I'd rather just have something better. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would have there, but I would change one of them. I wouldn't have two weapons with exactly the same perfect talent on there. I don't think that's very good at all, but hey, it is what it is. It could change. We don't know yet, but this is called the Interchange, and again, it's an SMG with exactly the same on it. And then we have the Whiplash Pistol. Now, this is a new exotic pistol. Again, you're going to be shocked what you have to do with this. Having this weapon holstered for 5 seconds reloads and primes it. While primed, swapping to this weapon reloads your primary and secondary weapons and grants 20% rate of fire, 15% weapon damage until its magazine is empty. So that's when you swap to this weapon, okay? Reloading or swapping from this weapon before its magazine is empty will remove its stat bonuses. Again, like, if you are swapping weapons, this is the, you know, this is the season of swaps. It's the season of being able to just flick through your weapons constantly, but it's annoying to me. So I like the idea of what they're trying to do. They're trying to get buffs by doing certain things, which is great. Swapping all the time is not for me, really. Of course, you can't stack this then with the Agitator because you can't have two of the exotics equipped. So you would have to use it with the Trader or the Interchange with the same talent on there. So it's kind of just a bit, if you wanted to stack loads into it, you'd have to either pick this or your exotic choice. So it's kind of, would you pick an exotic pistol over an exotic like, I don't know, St. Elmo's? I don't know what people would prefer to use at the moment, but I've got better exotic weapons I would use than having to just pick this up. Now, the mods on this thing are 50% swap speed, of course, because we can't get anything different, 10% crit damage, and of course 10% crit chance on the mag. I would have liked to have seen a bigger mag on this, 6. Liked to have seen a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is. We can't change any of that. We're just going to have to wait and see when the full weapon comes out to see exactly where it's going to sit in terms of usability or not. Now let's get into the gear then. So let's go for the new mask, the Investor. Now this one is kind of interesting in a way. It's interesting in a way. So on this one, I've got skill tier was a core attribute, and then I've got 3 attributes here. Now you can't mod this mask, okay? There is no mod able to go onto this. What I believe, and I'll tell you in a minute after I've read the talent, and I'll tell you how I perceive this, because there is some chat about people having different ideas of what they can do here. So it's called Slotted, the talent, and you receive bonuses for each non-core attribute on this item, depending on their color. So red is plus 10 crit hit damage, yellow plus 5% skill efficiency, and blue plus 1% armor regen. This item can feature any core attribute, and this item features a 3rd random attribute instead of having a gear mod slot. This item cannot feature headshot damage, health, or skill repair. So my thing is here, and then people are saying, oh, you can re-roll. You cannot re-roll this. You cannot recalibrate it. You cannot do anything to it. Okay? This is what it is. But I believe you just farm this mask over and over again to get better ones. So you receive bonuses for each non-core attribute that is on the item. So these attributes here. So if you want to max out crit damage, you need to bang in there 3 red attributes: crit chance, weapon handling, crit damage. So you need to bang out 3 to get 30% crit damage on there. Or if you want yellows, you just want that middle one better. But we're going to be farming this mask over and over again. So I don't know how we're going to be able to get the mask. I don't know if it's going to be in general loot. But yeah, so basically you're going to want the best of both worlds on this one. You're going to want a great roll of it, and obviously make sure you get the stack that you want. Blue, obviously I don't have blue on there, but 1% armor regen. Realistically, I don't think anyone's going to be chasing blues on here to get 1% for each item. What they could have done here is basically, let's say if you get all 3 red or all 3 blue, it's plus 10%. You know, or whatever, you know, like if we get 3 blue armor blue mods on here, attributes, why am I only getting 3% armor regen? It should say if they're all the same, you get this much of a boost, because trying to find one of these with 3 of the same is going to be pretty hard. I'm going to call it. So I think you should be rewarded for finding that item, and it should buff. If you have all the same non-core attributes in the same category, you get a certain amount more. That's my opinion on this one. I don't know. I think it will be an interesting one to use if you can get a decent roll on it. Is it going to replace other exotic items in slot? I don't know. It really depends on what build people are running. Kind of going towards the hybrid builds, I think, this time round. Hybrids, weapon swapping, thinking about the synergy when you're playing the game. So maybe it will be in slot, but I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure on that one. Then we have the new gear sets. Yes, we have a new gear set. Core Strength Training Mask. Ooh. So Core Strength is the new gear set. So 2 pieces is 10% weapon handling. 3 pieces is not bad here. You get 5% weapon damage, 5% total armor, and 5% skill efficiency. Pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty good stat to have right there. Then you go for 4 pieces, which is called Core Exercise. For each core on your gear pieces, receive 40% of the other 2 cores bonuses, and then skill tiers count as 15% skill efficiency when these bonuses are applied. All pieces from this gear set, apart from the backpack, will feature random cores. Okay, so the backpack has a set core attribute. Everything else can roll differently, okay? So breaking that down, for each core on your gear pieces, receive 40% of the other 2 cores bonuses. So there we go. That's what it is. You can put a mod on this one as well. And of course, you will have on this gear set, let's go into the backpack here, because obviously we get extra talents. So the backpack then just makes it outer core, which is this talent does not provide a direct change to the core exercise talent. This backpack features 3 core attributes. So basically, this doesn't change anything. It doesn't, what they're saying here, this doesn't change anything, okay? But it's going to have 3 core attributes on it. So weapon damage, armor, skill tier. A bit like most backpacks now in the game, all right? So ignore that. Basically, it's just telling you that you're not getting anything extra from the backpack, but you are getting something extra from the chest piece. Now, the chest piece is giving you increase the percentage of the bonuses you receive from other cores from 40% to 60%. So it's buffing up those core bonuses right there. But these can roll random. Now, of course, with the gear set, there is a new brand set as well. So this is Royal Works, okay? So 1 piece of this is 5% weapon handling. I think to start off with, 5% weapon handling is not worth it. 32% magazine size for 2 pieces. Again, not worth it in my opinion. And 3 pieces gives you a big fat 15% crit damage. Again, not worth it. They need to rework those numbers. Why would you put on 3 pieces of this just for 15% crit damage and a bit more mag size? You wouldn't. It's not really viable in my opinion. I don't think that is a good gear set at all. There's plenty of better options out there. But if they did buff these numbers slightly and maybe jig them around, I don't know, maybe the 15% weapon handling, you know, 50% mag size, 30% crit damage, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to rework it if they are, but I just don't think that's appealing to me personally. Now, going back to the backpacks, there is a new named backpack, which of course is Royal Works. So if you want this, you're going to have to put up with those terrible stats if they don't change it. But this one has perfect composure. So while in cover, increases total weapon damage by 20%. Not a bad stat, not a bad talent to have. In my personal opinion, I don't think that's bad, because if you're running, you know, this hard content, and there is new hard content coming out, we're going to be in cover, so why not get 20%? Is it going to be best in slot? That's a different question. I don't know, depending what build you're using, depending what you're wanting to do. But perfect composure, of course, is always just a little bonus there. I remember back in the day, people using composure quite a lot. So maybe this will bring this back and make it best in slot. I doubt it very much, but we will see. And a chest piece as well, Royal Works named chest piece, again with those terrible Royal Works stats on there. On this one, it is perfect gunslinger. So weapon swapping, for a change, increases total weapon damage by 28% for 5 seconds. This buff is lost for 5 seconds if you weapon swap while it is active. So basically, weapon swapping, just keep weapon swapping. You get more damage for weapon swapping. This is going to go hand in hand with the guns we've seen earlier. But I'll be honest with you, again, is that going to really be top stat, you know, over sort of like the equalizer and stuff like that? Especially because you're getting these terrible brand set bonuses here. I think if these were better, this would be more worthwhile, especially if we're going down the season of swapping. You know, it would be worthwhile doing. But for this, I think this is what's letting this brand set down. And so that is it. That is all of the new gear that we've got access to in the PTS. If you did find this video helpful, of course, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below what you're looking forward to. Do you like the look of any of this? Do you think this is trash? For me personally, honest opinion, overall, I don't like it. I really don't like the whole weapon swap thing. I don't know why they're stacking those together in one update, you know. They should drip feed stuff like this in a little bit, not just make it all about weapon swapping. I really think that's like a lazy thing to do. Someone's thought, bonus for weapon swapping. And then someone else in the office has said, we could put that on every new piece. Well, you kind of just, you're driving people to use this gear, you have to go down a certain route. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's how we should be playing the game, but that's just my opinion. And of course, I've been out of the game for a little while. I've only just come back properly, but I definitely am not looking forward to any of these. Maybe the mask, but that's really about it. Like, there's nothing else here that I'm looking forward to using in the actual game itself. Now, in the next video, we're going to be going through the Proto Lab, how to prototype your gear, what it does, what it looks like, and going into that deep dive, as well as doing videos this weekend about the new game mode. Don't forget, if you do enjoy today's video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.